What's up, guys? Fooch from Fooch TV here today. Now, we're going to be talking about Sayuri Fujita. Now, who is she? Well, up until a couple of days ago, I didn't know either. However, this week, a couple of people had spoken to me about her, and because it got brought up a couple of times, I didn't mention it. I figured it out. I figured enough that this was a hot topic being discussed right now, which means I needed to look into it and make a video about it. Now, before we begin, just make sure to hit that like, subscribe, notification bell if you want, or thumbs down, and unsubscribe or unclick that notification bell, whatever you want to do. Now, let's get back to talking about Sayuri. She's probably one of the most loved Japanese people in Korea. She's a TV personality who's been regularly on TV since 2007, so about 13 years now. Yes, she is fluent in Korean. She's been on such shows such as Global Talk Show, Wonderful Friday, With You, and from 2015 she was on My Neighbor Charles, which apparently she is still doing now. So why is everyone talking about her then? Well, she just had a baby earlier this month. Well, okay, so what? What's the big deal? Well, she's not married, and she's not dating anyone. So she became pregnant through in vitro fertilization, aka, like what they call a test tube baby. I don't know if that's politically correct anymore or not. She got pregnant through in vitro fertilization, which is something she actually talked about doing 3 years ago on TV in this clip that you're taking a look at now. She pretty much says that that she wants to have a baby and her parents want her to have a baby. However, she's tried dating and she can't seem to find the right kind of guy. So instead of just settling and marrying someone she doesn't like in order to have a baby, or instead of just not having a baby, she decided to go down this route, which her parents, they were okay with as well. And yeah, so 3 years ago it was talked about it. She got it done. Now, interestingly enough, is she had to get the sperm from Japan, not because she prefers Japanese guys. Well, I don't know, but it was because it's actually illegal in Korea for a single woman to get in vitro fertilization. You have to be married and you have to get approval, a signature from the husband in order to do this procedure. So it hasn't really been done. It's never been done before in Korea, and that's why people are kind of making a big deal out of it. And they're not making a big deal of it, kind of celebrating it or being surprised. A lot of it is kind of negative. And to understand that, you have to know that Korea is a collective society for the most part and not very individualistic. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. There are many benefits from this, such as a very low crime rate. It also means that during the corona situation, instead of having people in the US protesting by not wearing masks or screaming at store employees when asked to put on a mask, everyone here wears a mask for the most part. Everyone feels like they have to do their part in order to have the country come together and overcome this obstacle. And individualism isn't very celebrated. Does that mean nobody's individualistic? No, that's not true. And does that mean everyone's exactly the same? No, there are many there are different types of people, or there are types, there are paths that are kind of accepted by society to go down. And that's how people differ from each other, but they're usually going down this path that's kind of been culturally approved. Now, as again, some things are approved by society, some things aren't. Things are slowly changing. For example, maybe 20 years ago, marrying a foreigner would be quite weird and kind of frowned upon. However, for the most part, that is pretty much okay. However, being gay is still not something that is looked upon very nicely. So this is the first time something like this has happened. Interestingly enough, I heard that in Japan, my source over there, he tells me that the cases of or the number of single mothers is actually increasing, similar to the same idea that Sayuri has, which is essentially that they don't want to get married and that they still want to have a kid. So they're having a kid without getting married and without there being a father to take care of the kid. Another thing, so maybe she's kind of bringing that ideal out. She heard about that in Japan. She's bringing it here. Maybe she thought of it by herself. Here's an interesting blurb taken from an online journal, just talking a little bit about how single mothers in South Korea are kind of looked down upon. These are not my words. I'm going to put a link below, but to quote, influenced by Confucianism, South Korean society emphasizes the importance of the traditional family structure composed of husband, wife, and children. Those who do not belong in the traditional norm of the family structure are ostracized and discriminated against. In Korean culture, a strong stigma is associated with giving birth prior to marriage, and unwed single mothers are seen as being sexually promiscuous. Thus, they are often cut off from their family members for bringing shame. For these reasons, unwed single mothers experience more discrimination and stigma compared to the other parenthoods, such as a single father or single mothers who have been married before. Obviously, this case with Sayuri is not the same as being a single mother. What this blurb is talking to is, having a child out of wedlock or having a divorce and becoming a single mom. Those things, the blurb, I do agree that is kind of stigmatized. I don't know if it's as badly stigmatized as they talk about in this online journal, but it definitely is stigmatized. And that kind of relates to this because Sayuri is a single mom, and that may be why people are a little bit upset, this idea that there needs to be a father and there needs to be a mother. But I was speaking with someone today who is probably quite upset with this whole situation, and even said Sayuri only wanted a baby because it seems like she thinks that the babies are some sort of object of possession, and that she wasn't serious about being a mother, otherwise she would have actually been married. To which I said, what is actually better? Sayuri raising this child by herself and doing an excellent job at it, even without having, a husband, a male figure to help her with it, or is a married couple who is raising a child and that couple hates each other and they argue all the time and they're abusive verbally, maybe even physically. They're raising a child. What's better? Is the latter couple better just because there's a husband and wife, a mother and father, even though they abuse each other and possibly abuse the child? Or is Sayuri's case better, assuming Sayuri does an excellent job of raising the child? I want to know what you guys think about this situation. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think, this is what Sayuri did was very commendable and you just want to wish her all the love and congratulations that you can send her? Or do you think that having a child should be done between a husband and wife, and this is really something to frown upon? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, if you like this channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and the notification bell. If there's anything else you wanted me to talk about, anything related to Korea at all, please let me know by leaving a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.